It took me 10 years to start a YouTube. And you are talking about being stuck. It's me. It's sis. I was stuck for a decade. And there are other arenas of my life where I have been a victim to this stuckness. I've been stuck, okay? Up and stuck. Like my goals, it don't move. That's how stuck I was once upon a time. But I got to a place where I went from thinking myself into a rut, analysis paralysis, lacking confidence, not knowing what was going to come next, to actually executing. And I want this for everybody. And I believe everybody can achieve this. And I'm going to take you guys through a journey today to really illustrate like what it is that's keeping us bound to our current results and how we can literally put on the boxing gloves and fight for our lives and really get out of the rut. I really just want to start off by emphasizing that it's going to take a shift in mindset in order for things to actually materialize into practical reality for you. And mindset is first and foremost about awareness. Think about it like this. The way to make the iPhone 14 has always been here. The materials needed, the technology needed, but the only thing that we didn't have in 1902 that we have now in the 21st century is awareness. How to actually make this come to be. How do we go from not knowing how to even build a flip phone to now having this gadget? It was just awareness. So using that same example of the iPhone 14 and how we've gotten to a place where it's now here in the material physical world, I want you to think about it like this. The future you is already in you. You just have to build an awareness about who you are and furthermore whose you are in order for that future you to materialize. And I think a lot of what keeps us stuck is not understanding fully what our potential is. We are looking at our physical situation. We're looking at our body or our bank account or all the things that we can actually see and touch. And we're not understanding that we are spiritual beings and that our spirit is 100% perfect. The word says in 1 Peter 2:9 that we're a royal priesthood, a holy nation. It says that we're chosen and that we're God's special possession. It used to really go over my head until I realized that, God put me on this earth for something special. Like he really handpicked me to do a good work. And every day that I'm spending not doing it is a day that I'm just not fulfilling my purpose. And I know that it's very easy to say that. And when you're actually in the moment, it doesn't feel good. But the verse goes on to say that declare the praises of him who brings you out of darkness into light. So God understands that maybe you're in a dark place right now where it doesn't seem like there's any hope for the future. Like, what's the point of starting my YouTube channel? What's the point of starting the business? What's the point of getting up to look for a job? I don't know what it is that's keeping you stuck, but God has the power to pull you from the darkness into the light if you would let him in. On the days that I really couldn't bring myself to do huge, massive things, I really just started off doing small, seemingly inconsequential things that really compounded over time. And one of those things that I did was I just got obsessed with learning. I know that entertainment can sometimes be the thing that we use to decompress and to escape from feeling how we're feeling. But you really have to trade in your entertainment content for some educational content because learning builds awareness. Even if you're just in the bed learning something and educating yourself either on a practical skill or just in the personal development realm, you just want to continue learning. So right now, maybe you don't have the capacity or the desire to learn a hardcore skill. Maybe you're not there yet, but get obsessed with learning how to reprogram your mind and your way of thinking. This really, really helped me because once I started working on the mechanics of my mind, everything else seemed possible. And it was almost like the veil was lifted and I saw that I could get out of the bed and do this. One of the mindsets that I had, for example, was that if I pick a niche or a business venture, it might be oversaturated. And if it's oversaturated, I'll never make an impact. I'll never get discovered. I'll never get paid. I might never get clients. And I just spiraled into this way of thinking. But I realized that that was just a lack mindset. I was just so worried that if I chose something and actually started to make a move on it, that I was just going to reverberate negative results or no results at all. But then when I picked up the book, The Science of Getting Rich, I actually learned that there is no shortage of any good thing in this world, no shortage of opportunities, of great people and great relationships to build, no shortage of money, space, everything. We live in such an abundant and prosperous world, and we just have to find a way to tap into the right opportunities so that we can receive that abundance. But it really all starts with believing in an abundant and prosperous way. And what I did not realize was that that small, flawed way of thinking was actually holding me back from executing, because I just thought, what's the point? And picking up a book and learning that, hey, listen, that's actually not true. There is so much out there. And yes, there might be competition in some arenas, but you can absolutely try your hand at something and re-strategize if need be. But that is no excuse to not execute. And that was really one of the challenges that came for me over and over again as I was embarking on starting a YouTube. Like literally, since I was in my early 20s, I was like, what am I going to do with my channel to make me stand out? What flair, what this, what that am I going to bring to the space? When the answer was just me. It's me. I'm the flair. I'm the uniqueness. I'm bringing value. I'm bringing entertainment. I'm bringing my personal experiences. I just spent so much time thinking about what I was going to do and not actually just realizing that just being my authentic self was enough to build traction on this channel. So I really started to get obsessed with personal self-development, learning about the mind and how it works, learning about who I am and why I was put on this earth. I spent a lot of time reading different books, listening to personal self-development audios. Some of my favorite speakers and thought leaders include Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, Les Brown. I love TD Jakes, Steve Harvey. These are people that really start to shift your perspective and help you realize, like, I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my situation. And I can actually do something dynamic and change my life one step at a time. Another thing that I would say that really helped me, and again, this came from actually learning, was beginning with the end in mind. I cannot emphasize to you guys, like when you are in a current situation and you have a certain amount of money in your bank account, or the relationships in your life are falling apart and you're just thinking about where you are, that's all you're ever going to get. But if you could visualize the ending before it has even come into fruition, you're putting yourself on just a different level of vibration. Something that I do is I am obsessed with success stories. So I literally watch stories of people that we know now to be millionaires, billionaires, super influential, great at their craft. And I go back to the beginning to see who they were, right? And most of the time they were just like me and you. A lot of them grew up in abject poverty. They got doors closed in their face over and over again, and they kept on going. And sometimes when we see them at the end, we don't know that at the in-between, they suffered, they struggled, they made sacrifices. They were going through a lot of the same things that we might be feeling right now. So don't look at where you are right now. Think about the future you that you can be. When somebody will look at you on a stage and you are a multimillionaire, or you have a successful business, or whatever it is that it is. But just imagine that the person that's sitting in the audience is looking at you like, wow, they're dope. Wow, they're this, they're that. And you are feeling how you're feeling now, but you need to see who you can be 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 5 years from now, right now, before you have even become that person. So really visualizing my future, that helped me so much. I close my eyes on a daily basis and I just imagine everything. I imagine how I'm going to look, how I'm going to smell, what outfit I'm going to have on, who is going to be around me, how much money I'm making, the lives I'm impacting, the ideas I'm coming up with. And I just picture it all. Even though right now I might not have those things per se, you have to really get good at seeing what's coming instead of just operating from what is. The next thing that I would say is, for anybody that's feeling stuck or unsure and really needs a mindset shift, is to get a why. Your why literally stands for what hurts you. So whatever is hurting you right now, whatever is paining you right now, you really want to dig deep and find out and reflect on what that is. And then you're going to want to build a list of the reasons why you don't want to feel that way anymore. And so when I was building my list, a lot of what was hurting me is like my parents. My parents came to this country with nothing. They sacrificed everything so that we can have a better life. And they spent 20 and 30 years doing physical labor jobs, taxing their bodies, and retiring with ailments and nothing to show for it. So when I was building out my why, a lot of my why had to do with my parents. It hurt me to see that they put it all on the line for us, and I wasn't able to do much for them. And so what propelled me to get up and move was seeing that my parents are not necessarily struggling, but I know that they can be doing better. And I know that I have some agency in that. And so getting a why, defining what hurts you, and then making it a point that you don't want it to hurt you anymore, that is what's going to really help you to actually desire change and then therefore get up and produce. Just in that same vein, if you know why you're going somewhere, you're more than likely going to hit that goal faster. Imagine if you went into the supermarket and you didn't have a list. You didn't know why you were going there. You were just like, hey, I guess I'll go to the supermarket today. You're going to end up probably spending money you don't need to spend, spending time in there that you don't need to spend, and then you're gonna walk out confused because it's like, why did I buy eggs when there's eggs in the fridge? But if you had a list and you went in there with clear goals and intentions and you knew why you were going to that supermarket and you stuck to the list, you would stick to your budget, you would be in and out in a timely manner, and you're not gonna buy things that you don't need, okay? So getting really intentional about what your why is or what your whys are is really gonna start to build that desire, and desire is, quite frankly, the starting point of all achievement. Something I would encourage you guys to understand is that mindset shifts are not linear. You're gonna have days when you are getting up there and you're just like, yes, I'm fighting this, I'm good, I'm out the bed, I'm out the house, I'm crushing my goals. And then you're gonna have seasons when you come back down and you're just like, whoa, what's happening to me? I want you to understand that we are triune beings. We are mind, we are body, and we are soul, or some people call it spirit. Your mind and your spirit are very willing, but your body, the physical flesh that you're in, is weak. And this is why we fall into our old habits. I'll give you the perfect example, right? Working out. A lot of people struggle to stay consistent. Guess why? Because they have not built up that mental to where it's more so than just the physical of working out. Because if you only think about the physical, then yes, you're not going to want to do it. It hurts, it's uncomfortable, it's sweaty, it's painful. And so you're not going to want to go through with it. So understand that your mind has to get stronger than your physical body in order for you to continue on this shift of yours. And it's going to take time, it's going to look messy, and it's not going to be linear because you're going to sometimes fall back into your old habits. But the more you fight it, the more it becomes a lifestyle and the less you relapse. But with that being said, the best thing you can do is in those moments of relapse or retraction or whatever you want to call it, be forgiving. Like, be nice to yourself, and there's no point in beating yourself up because you didn't go to the gym one day. Just make sure that the next day you stay on track. That's as much as you can do for yourself in the present moment. It is what it is, and tomorrow is a new and better day. So if you get nothing else from this video, I really want you to understand that your circumstance might seem dire right now. You might feel a weight on you, and it's not going to change tomorrow. It's going to take some muscle. It's going to take some small steps, but just if you can think about the end from right now, you can take those steps towards change. I appreciate you guys for sticking it out with me. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back with another banger. In the meantime, make sure you watch some of my previous videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.